Have you ever faced a decision that felt so risky that you froze up waiting for the right moment to act? Or maybe you find yourself waiting for motivation to strike before you take action. Let me tell you something. Motivation is overrated. You don't need more of it. What you need is discipline. And today I'm going to show you how to make bold, fearless decisions that will build your legacy, no matter how tough the times may be. And if you stick around to the end, I have a special gift I'm going to offer you that'll help you make confident choices and build the discipline that you need to follow through. I'm Miles Threat. Thank you for joining me today for Legacy Leaders Lounge. Do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I want you to picture this. You're in a high-pressure meeting right now. Your team and people are looking for answers from you. All you can think about are how high the stakes are for you and your business. Maybe you're that corporate leader out there, or perhaps you're that entrepreneur running your own business. Everyone is looking to you for answers. In either way, wherever you are in your career, or whoever you are, the pressure is real. You don't want to fail, and that fear can paralyze you. You see, when fear creeps in, it starts by clouding your judgment. See, that's where indecisiveness starts. Instead of feeling like you can make a bold decision, you're starting to think, maybe I should just play it safe right now. Or you could be waiting for those perfect conditions. Or you just don't have enough motivation. Well, let me tell you, you need to kick fear in the face. Perfection is going to kill you. And the reality is, motivation, it comes and goes like the wind. It's fleeting, it's inconsistent, and you cannot rely on your motivation at this point. You really have to kick fear in the face and take some action. Think progress over perfection. Think take a step instead of waiting and see. You see, discipline is going to be your rock solid foundation. You cannot build a house on sand. The good book tells you that. You got to build that house on a strong foundation, and that foundation is going to be discipline for you. Doesn't matter how you feel at the moment. You could be scared as hell. You could be unsure. You might be very unsure, but it's about developing some habits and routines that will push you forward. Even in the midst of all that fear, all that doubt and exhaustion tries to creep its ugly little head in. And I know you've been going hard. You've been really working towards it. You've been coloring outside the lines, and right now I get it. There's no such thing as balance. It's all about priorities, making a decision and taking a step of action. If you take that step and you make the wrong step, you can pivot. It's okay. Here's a great example. This happens to me all the time. I work out regularly. Going to the gym at least 3 days a week. Normally, I'm working out 5 to 6 days a week, doing some type of exercise. And I can promise you, out of those 5 or 6 days of the week, there are going to be at least 2, maybe 3 sometimes, that I just do not feel like it. The motivation to get my ass up and go work out is just not there. And I need it. I need it for my health. I need it for my mental clarity. I need it for my emotional health. I know that. The only thing that keeps me going is the fact that I have built it into my life. I have been disciplined around doing it. And I go to the gym or I go do that workout, even if I am not 100% and I'm only operating at 75% that day, and I finished that workout. I did it because I was disciplined. I can promise you that when I am done, I feel better. But if I had stayed my ass at home and slept or taken a nap, I would have been defeated and I would have let myself lose that day. But if I built the routine, I built the habit. When I don't feel like it, I go do it. I end up winning for myself. So the same goes for your decision making. It's not waiting around for motivation. It's about having the discipline to make the tough choices and making your goals a priority for yourself. One of the biggest mistakes we make in decision making is thinking too short term. We get caught up with what is right in front of us. We forget to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. You need to be asking yourself, how does this decision impact my long-term vision? You see, if we keep the end in mind, it's going to be a lot easier for us to make those decisions. How does making that decision right now impact that end goal, that legacy that you're trying to build? See, there's a simple framework you can use. It's called the 5x5 rule. If it doesn't matter 5 years from now, don't spend over 5 minutes worrying about it. Those long-term decisions, they're important. Yes, you want to spend some time thinking about it. But if it ain't going to matter later on down the road, don't kill yourself worrying about it. And you got to be real. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to have some failures along the way. But instead of being fearful about making that mistake or failing along the way, look at it like this. It's a learning opportunity. And you're going to learn something from that mistake or failure that's going to make you better. See, every decision we make, whether it works out or not, only makes us better in the long run. And it teaches us something valuable along the way. Those leaders who build lasting legacies, they made some mistakes along the way, and they learned from them, and they only got better. And they weren't afraid to make calculated risk. One of the things you can do for yourself right now, you faced with a tough decision, make a list of the worst case scenarios from that decision, and then answer yes or no. Can you handle that worst case scenario? 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to handle that worst case scenario. And if you've thought of the worst case scenario, you've also probably thought of some contingency plans that you can implement right away. You've already helped yourself make that decision by doing that one activity. Finally, build some routine for discipline. You see, motivation, it's going to help you get started. It's going to feel good. It's not a bad thing. It's just overrated. But that discipline is going to keep you going when there's no motivation. Establish routines that take decision making off autopilot for you. Set a time for yourself every week to review your goals and evaluate the decisions that you have made that impact those goals. If you do that, you're providing yourself with immediate feedback on how you're doing, not only towards your goals, but towards your decision making. And if you're getting that feedback on a regular basis, it's going to help you stay on track. So create that daily or weekly checklist for those decisions that need to be made. Break them down into smaller, actionable steps to make the process less overwhelming for you. And I've helped businesses implement that for their leaders to help guide them in their work on a daily basis. Create those checklists to help them make their decisions, to help them keep moving forward. And their big goals, their KPIs are included in that checklist because what they're doing on that daily basis is helping them reach those KPIs. And it makes the job easier for that leader as they go throughout their day. Let me tell you about a client I was working with recently, and they were stuck in this indecisive cycle, and it was killing their progress. They kept waiting for the perfect time to move into their entrepreneurial dream. They just didn't want to make a mistake, and I get it. You don't want to make a mistake. I understood where they were at, but the more they were waiting, the more opportunities kept passing them by. You see, that wait and see is going to kill your progress. So I helped them shift their mindset from seeking motivation to practicing discipline by establishing a decision-making framework. And guess what? Within 3 months, they saw more progress than they had in the previous year. See, they didn't wait for the fear to go away. The fear was still there, but they acted in spite of it. And that was the key takeaway. Discipline and decision-making isn't about removing the fear. It's about moving forward, even in the face of fear. It's about kicking that fear in the face. So if you're faced with some tough decisions right now and motivation is waning, don't wait for the perfect moment or enough motivation to make that decision. Focus on that long-term vision. Embrace the learning that can come with failure and build habits that turn decision-making into disciplined action. You will make bolder and smarter choices without letting fear hold you back. So I promised in the beginning I'd give you something special. In the description below, you'll find a link to the ultimate decision-making process. This free tool will help you make confident decisions every time and build the discipline to follow through. Download it now. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. What's one decision you've been putting off and how are you going to tackle it now? Remember, your legacy is built one decision at a time. I'm Miles Threat. Thank you for joining me today for Legacy Leaders Lounge.